What's up, everybody? Welcome back to coverage of Arena Championship 5. Cedric Phillips, Carmen Calm Parents here in our virtual booths, bringing you more Explorer action. Getting ready to watch another match here. We just did a little deck tech on Rakdos Vampires, so it only makes sense to watch the deck in action now. Isn't that right, partner?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's something that everyone coming into the event had to know about. So it only makes sense that we're going to go ahead and get the ball rolling.
Well, let's get the ball rolling indeed. It'll be in the hands of Jesse Hampton here in just a moment. You see the Explorer win rate of 56.8%. Hasn't played a ton of Explorer, but has been dominating online tournaments for the better part of a decade, has Jesse Hampton. The opponent here is Ryan Condon, who you do see has played some Constructed as well. A little bit more Explorer than Jesse. Quintorius Combo is the weapon of choice, and it's a deck that you, Carmen, are excited about.
Oh, yeah. I could not be more excited about this version of Quintorius Combo that we see in the hands of Condon here, with the big innovation this weekend being Gyruda Doom of Depths, a card close to my heart. It's the only serialized card I own, but it gives the deck a lot more redundancy against some of the disruptive elements that you see from Rakdos Vampires, like Thoughtseize.
Well, I'm excited to see this underway. This, of course, is most played deck in the tournament, Rakdos Vampires, against anything but here in Quintorius Combo in the hands of Ryan. We joined this one right at the beginning of the match, so we'll see how many games it does go, how many clones perhaps we will see here in just a moment, as Hampton is looking to put together that winning combination of Saurian, Imperious, Bloodlord, and Vein Ripper. That combination, of course, integral in having Seth Manfield win Pro Tour Murders at Karlov Manor in Chicago a little over a month ago.
And look at this. We see Ryan starting off with a Sultai land plus a red-white land. Normally, you got to have a Fetch Shock mana base to make this kind of action happen.
Not today.
No, with Leyline Binding too?
Looks like somebody's ready to go there as Ryan is. Here's a Blood Tithe Harvester, creature-type vampire for those of you keeping track at home.
And that's just one of the cool things about this Rakdos Vampires deck is so many cards, you're like, oh yeah, Blood Tithe Harvester, that's a pretty good card. Preacher of the Schism, that's a pretty good card. And then you realize they're all just vampires, incidentally. So you do get this sort of typal feel to a deck that otherwise is just playing a normal game of Magic.
Thoughtseize the draw here for Hampton, while Condon not up to much at the moment. Beanstalk Giant among other things going on there for Condon. Should be back Cleave and one of the best cards in any format that it's in Fable the Mirror Breaker.
Yeah, interesting choice from Ryan here, figuring out if they want to represent the Carnosaur to be able to kill Preacher of the Schism at instant speed, or if they just wanted to lean into the Tanuki's power here.
It'll be a little Tanuki action. Now it might be time for a little Fertile Footsteps. It is.
All right, and I think we're going to see the Thoughtseize here from Jesse next turn. This is just really nice Thoughtseize play, sandbagging it until the sort of fundamental turn of the game, whenever you start to be threatened by the important card from your opponent's combo deck.
Shapeshifter the name with Cavern of Souls, and now Karuga's been added to the hand. So Thoughtseize has a couple of targets. And now this will be a Fable the Mirror Breaker going on Chapter 2. So Hampton does have the opportunity to discard a couple of cards if he'd like, and it looks like some lands are headed to the graveyard for Jesse. A couple of cards here coming. Multiple copies of Arcfiend of the Dross, a new addition to this Vampires deck.
And this is one of the big things that we've seen this weekend as a sort of adaptation against an expected field full of Izzet Phoenix, because it's so strong against Lightning Axe.
That makes a lot of sense. It is huge.
It's not too shabby on its own, right? It's been in and out of the deck a little bit, even before there was a real reason other than it's just a dang good card.
Thoughtseize is going to take care of that Trumpeting Carnosaur. Here comes the Goblin Shaman. That'll make a treasure token as Condon will fall down to 18. And now the follow-up here for Hampton might be the aforementioned Arcfiend of the Dross. It's a big 6/6. It's going to try to kill you before those oil counters run out.
Right, exactly. Jesse is just saying, okay, I got to kill you. That's my job now. So Karuga actually looks like it's going to be doing a little bit here, being able to just draw cards off Leyline Binding.
So there. Oh, well, there's Quintorius.
Okay,
All
talk to
right.
me.
That wasn't there when the Thoughtseize resolved. Archfiend of the Dross. Down to 3 oil counters. Okay, 1-2 punch. Soren plus Vein Ripper is here.
Wow, this is... All of a sudden, there might be so many creatures in play that it isn't necessarily deterministic to kill Jesse, even if Ryan is able to assemble their combo.
Yeah, this is going to get a little more interesting than it was, I don't know, roughly 3 minutes ago. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, this is sweet. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, no. Reflection is summoning sickness.
True.
One of the fast kills we've seen from this deck is being able to put in a Vein Ripper and then immediately copy it with Reflection of the Mirror, or Reflection of Kiki-Jiki, rather, copy the Vein Ripper and have a huge attack. But here it's only an attack for 8.
Yeah, this is still a pretty big one. So another treasure token has been made here. Garuda's going to do a little blocking. And that will all take place. So Vein Ripper will trigger. And now Condon will fall down to 10 while Hampton is up to 20. And this is an immediate casting, it looks like, of Quintorius.
Okay. Drew a copy of Clever Impersonator, which could be problematic depending on how many copies of all the various clones that Ryan has in their deck.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like they have 1 more Clever Impersonator after this and 3 more Spark Doubles.
So let's discover 4. Here is Spark Double. It's going to join the battlefield. A little bit of damage. All right, 18 to 12. Spark Double is going to come in. Copy Quintorius. Discover 4. Let's do it again. Spark Double. All right. Couple of Quintorius triggers. Bingo, bango. 14 to 16. Spark Double is in. Quintorius again. Discover 4. How'd we do? Spark Double. Shocking. Let's do this. Quintorius triggers. 1, 2, 3. 8 to 22. We spin the wheel again.
Okay, and there's exactly enough in deck to make this happen.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, wait.
It's not over yet. It's not over yet. That's right.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. So now here's Go for the Throat. Targeting the Karuga, sacrifice the treasure in the land. This will, of course, trigger Vein Ripper. And Archfiend of the Dross. Don't forget about that, too. So, gain a little bit of life. Have your opponent lose some more. Quintorius going to bring Jesse down to 2. Now it's 2 to 26. Clever Impersonator can enter the battlefield and copy a non-land permanent.
And all of a sudden, it probably can't be Quintorius.
Mm-hmm.
But
so what do you do?
I would guess Vein Ripper is your only option. Okay, Leyline Binding's fine.
All right, so Leyline Binding is going to take care of the Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. And so now we play on. Archfiend of the Dross is down to 2 oil counters. Go for the throw at the draw. The attacking? Where's the attacking go? It just faces the place?
Well, I mean, it almost just has to be.
This is pretty nice.
It doesn't have to be, but it has to be. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And at this point, the Quintoriuses can make tokens, but they can't block, and they probably can't attack before the game just ends.
So here's an attack for 13 from Hampton. Going to gain some life, of course, because of that Soren +1/+1 counter, and simply pass the turn back.
Oh, wow. And look at this. Jesse has gone up to 9. So casting Beanstalk Giant could theoretically put Jesse down to 1.
Yes.
But that's not 0.
1, for some reason, in Magic continues to not be none.
I know. That's how they get you, you know?
I know. A dirty Watsy staff.
Whoa.
I said what I said. Here's Beanstalk Giant. All right, triggers.
I think Jesse trying to figure out if this is actually a danger.
Not yet. Down to 1 again. Okay. So
I think this is their way of just saying, I'm going to make you do it.
all right, so go for the throat, kill that. Trigger Arc Fiend, trigger Vein Ripper down to 17. And then we keep playing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, all right, oil.
I mean, yeah, this is possible.
Here's another Arc Fiend. So Jesse's gonna play this pre-combat.
Oh, I understand. Okay, here, let's just watch.
Okay, throw this at you. Soren you. Yeah, this is Soren sacrifice a vampire at your face.
Yep.
Nicely done, Jesse Hampton.
And this is exactly why they're the competitors. You know, they just see this stuff immediately. They have hundreds of reps with these decks.
And that is going to do it. Jesse Hampton's going to win game number 1 here over Ryan Condon, who was able to combo, but just not enough, as Rakdos Vampires able to work itself through all those copies of Quintorius, as we turn our attention now to game number 2. For our Quintorius combo player, what do you think comes in from these sideboard options?
Honestly, there really isn't that much that is that attractive out of the sideboard here. I would guess Consecrate Consume ends up being the thing that we're looking at. This is something with an edict mode on it, more or less. So anyone who's trying to put out big creatures like Archfiend of the Dross, Vein Ripper, etc., it's going to be nice against those sorts of cards. But other than that, the sort of downside of having these high deck restriction combo decks like the Quintorius deck is you don't have that many options. You're not really seasoning the taste very much. You're just kind of saying, all right, well, there are a couple cards I can afford to cut, and I can only afford to bring 3 or 4 cards in.
Other side of things, you do see Jesse Hampton, a couple copies of Liliana the Veil, alongside some Duress. These Fatal Pushes, quite bad in the matchup, so it makes sense that those will go. And then, that Preacher, just not good enough in this matchup. So we're underway here in game number 2.
Yeah, definitely a case of Jesse trying to get cards out of his deck more than there's anything he's that excited to be bringing in. But anything that lets him reduce the number of resources both players have access to is going to be fine. So we see Liliana the Veil looking okay in Jesse's hand here.
Better than the alternatives. We'll say that.
Yeah, Fatal Push being an actual blank piece of cardboard. Not where you want to be.
Blood Tithe Harvester is going to get things started here for Rakdos Vampires. Blood Token, of course, joining it. This will be a mountain. And looks like we'll be donning the Tanuki suit here in just a moment.
Haven't heard it called that before.
Mm-hmm. Some of us are Super Mario fans.
No, I got the reference. I just hadn't connected it with Greater Tanuki before.
Here is Liliana. Let's do a little bit of discarding, shall we? Spark double down. Now here is channeling the Tanuki.
And this is the kind of spot where theoretically, if Ryan just draws a Quintorius, it could be over.
Mm-hmm. It can't just be that simple.
But now they're faced with the decision of what they plan to discard to Liliana next turn and trying to sequence over the course of 2 turns against ideally or presumably a more interactive version of Rakdos in the post-board games.
Looks like it's going to be a Zagoth Triumph. Well, Raffine's Triumph. So let's get that out there. And now it's Clever Impersonator. Interesting. Okay. So that's going to copy Liliana and say goodbye, Blood Tithe Harvester. Get out of here.
This is one of those interesting spots where we can kind of see this Quintorius combo deck say, okay, well, I have a bunch of really big, expensive spells, so if you want to reduce both of us to top decking, that's fine. I have more 6-drops than you do.
That was a good draw.
Yeah, Thoughtseize off the top, huge for Hampton.
Good draw. Jesse taking a look at a hand that has Garuda, Doom of Depths, Beanstalk Giant, and a land. Unsurprisingly, Garuda's going to bite the dust. Now here comes the activation of Liliana. Jesse deciding what land to discard, because it's certainly not going to be Sorin, and Mutavault is useful in this instance, I believe. So Cavern of Souls will bite the dust. Here is a, well, maybe Mutavault. Could be Swamp.
And at this point, we see Ryan holding on to Beanstalk Giant because they're under the impression that they really just want to be able to empty cards out of their hand to continue playing with or against Liliana in the coming turns.
Mutavault going to get busy on that Liliana. Follow-up is the backup Mutavault. Sorin still in the grip. Maybe a blood token activation here in just a moment. In the meantime, this is going to be a Fertile Footsteps via the Beanstalk Giant. And that'll get a basic. Of course, that land will enter untapped, and now Krug has been added to the grip. We're heading back Jesse Hampton's way now. And will he use that blood token? He will. And what's going to bite the dust? It will be a Swamp. So Sorin will stay put. Mutavault number 3 has been drawn. We'll untap and draw here Will Hampton in just a moment. Because one of these players is going to be 4-0 after this match.
Yeah, this is tough if you're in Condon specifically because there are a lot of you just need a high number of resources to actually be able to play the game from here.
There's Fable the Mirror Breaker.
Pretty nice hit.
Rarely bad. So Mutavault will be played. Next up is Fable. 2/2 Goblin is here. And now Hampton's going to be without that Sorin. And now there goes Karuga. Mutavault will get fired up. And Condon's going to fall down to 15. What can they draw? Ha-ha!
Ooh, okay.
Is that lights out? Could be.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Oh.
Not quite.
Live by the depths, die by the depths.
Yes, indeed. Blood Tithe Harvester joins the fray. Here is a duress, not a great draw step today for Jesse Hampton.
Unfortunately, he might just have to settle for a Liliana ultimate.
Oh yeah, tough life.
Yeah, hard place to be. And I can imagine a world where the ult split is even just like the 2 creatures and the plains and Rafine's tower against everything else.
Well, we're gonna see how I'm gonna chop them up.
Yeah. It's time.
This is actually the first time I've seen this resolve on Arena.
Me too.
So this is kind of fun seeing the numbers happen.
Uh-huh. Okay, so this is just a more textbook half and half.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
I imagine naturally you want to screw your opponent out of being able to cast their spells because you have to imagine that Condon is going to keep Garuda around.
Sure.
So, yep, that's effectively what Jesse has done here. Which is, here's 3 lands. None of them are green alongside Garuda. Or you can have the rest, I think is what the chop is here. Actually, one of them, that Triumph was actually Ketria Triumph, excuse me. So there is still a green one.
Yeah, so it is either missing black with Gyruda or everything else.
All right. Well, Garuda down. Lands left. And we play on. Fire up some Mutavaults, try to get this game over with here.
All attacks all the time. And now this is just Jesse really trying to turn the corner and get the game over.
Yeah, with the reflections coming soon. There's a Trumpeting Carnosaur.
Oh.
No, that's a good thing to discard to a blood token.
No red sources.
Really good split there from Hampton. On that Liliana, Leyline Binding. Okay, well, there is white mana.
Okay, don't have to commit it just yet.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's a good card.
Vein Ripper off the top. Not so bad. That one treasure from the Fable token last turn. Doing okay.
Yeah, a good time for it to rest. All right. Take a little look ski. Here is Leyline Binding. And then Duress wasn't good a couple of turns ago, but it's not bad now. That'll force the Leyline Binding.
I like not taking the foot off the gas for Hampton in that spot. Just saying, if you ripped a Quintorius, I'm going to feel so dumb if you rip an untapped red source.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And now there's a Beanstalk Giant. Maybe more importantly, this is a copy of Fertile Footsteps. This will get you the... I'd like to believe a red source.
Nope, not a mountain.
This is awkward.
Yeah, no mountains left. The only mountain in the deck's gone.
This is real awkward. That's a tough hang.
Whew.
Mutavault time.
Ooh, not casting Vein Ripper at all. Just saying, all right, you're a 1. Who's dead? Not me.
Yeah, I like this. I like going to Mutavaults because not only one Mutavault needs to get through on the next turn, and I'm not sure if there's anything that Ryan can draw on this spot. So
I don't think so.
Tanuki Suit does nothing.
That's flavor.
And it looks like that is going to do it. Mutavaults and Friends alongside the Liliana Ultimate Activation is going to get Jesse Hampton his 4th win of the tournament. Somebody that has been doing fantastic on online tournaments this year and in seasons past is going to move on to Florida as Rakdos Vampires just once again too much to overcome.
And that's exactly why so many different players have